Who would have thought any sort of combination of Parks and Recreation and American Horror Story could work so well? These are, of course, two unrelated TV shows of entirely different genres, though both achieved significant success. Parks and Rec is a workplace sitcom that ran for 7 seasons from 2009 to 2015 and holds an impressive 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. American Horror Story, on the other hand, is a horror anthology that's about to wrap up its 15-year run with season 13 in September 2026, and has a 77% Rotten Tomatoes score. The fact that these two TV shows are so incomparable is precisely what makes Apple TV's new horror comedy, Widow's Bay, so intriguing. The TV show, created by Katie Dippold and starring Matthew Rhys, premiered on Apple TV with 2 episodes on April 29, 2026, and it's already off to a fantastic start. Currently, Widow's Bay has a 100% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, and an only slightly lower viewer score of 94%. Clearly, the show has struck a chord, and that has everything to do with the unique meld of comedy and horror. Widow's Bay's quirky town hall dynamic is very Parks and Recreation. Widow's Bay follows Tom Loftis, the mayor of a small New England island town. Tom is desperate to improve his cutoff from the rest of the world community and believes that getting tourists to the island will make this happen. The only problem is that the quirky residents of Widow's Bay, including those who work beside Tom at City Hall, believe their home is cursed. The first 2 episodes of Widow's Bay see Tom exasperatedly try to do his job well while everyone around him seems not to take their work in small-town politics very seriously. This is the very center of the series' comedy. Just as in Parks and Rec, the hilarity and chaos come straight from the downright agonizing awkwardness of these colorful characters. There's an ancient secretary who goes home for a nap after working 2 hours, a middle-aged single bookworm desperate for attention, and a sarcastic administrator who is never without a cigarette, to name just a few. Of course, Widow's Bay doesn't lean exclusively on this Parks and Rec-style comedy to work. The bizarre characters are the icing on top, but the true hook of this Apple TV series is the ancient curse these residents believe has held their island captive for centuries. Tom quickly finds out that his colleagues aren't just batty. Widow's Bay truly is a place of terrors. Apply TV's Widow's Bay plays around with mixed horror tropes. The horror element of Widow's Bay is where the Parks and Rec comparison ends, and the American Horror Story crossovers begin. The curse that plagues the titular island doesn't revolve around any one kind of haunting. Essentially, any sort of possible horror genre trope is roped into the story. In just 2 episodes, we hear all about the different sorts of tragedies and disasters that have befallen Widow's Bay throughout its history. There's cannibalism, witch trials, soul-stealing fogs, murderous clowns, killer ghost brides, haunted houses, boogeyman serial killers, and much, much more. American Horror Story throws limitations regarding tropes and archetypes right out the window and plays around with each and every one of them. The whole point of the series is to defy expectations by twisting and turning the traditional horror formula, pulling apart a new set of tropes with each season. Widow's Bay takes this further by piling those tropes on top of one another all at once. It's not something that just any TV show could pull off, but, when paired with that quirky workplace comedy dynamic, it works out fantastically. How Widow's Bay's contradictory elements work so well together. It's getting harder and harder for the storytelling industry to produce anything unique. Everything just seems to have been done before. A fun answer to this issue has been to steer into the skid, as it were. Rather than avoid tropes, TV shows and movies can combine tropes that wouldn't typically go together. Turning a workplace comedy into an all-out horror story is an excellent example.